I think probably where we'll start is Flight School Next. Why? What is the Army trying to accomplish? A really good place to kind of start this conversation is probably right to you, Matt. And that is why the Army is changing to a commercially owned, commercially operated model. And what's the product they're looking for, and why is this so important for us?
For a number of years, the Army's been pretty vocal about three challenges that they're having right now that they're trying to address by way of this new Flight School Next initiative. And that first challenge is a cost challenge. Secondly, and certainly not second in importance, is also an aviator proficiency gap that the Army is recognizing. And then thirdly, the Army, because of the multiple contracts of the way IRW has operated for decades, it's been difficult for the Army to take any significant leaps in technology and modern learning sciences and advancements. And so Flight School Next for the Army is really that opportunity to get a new solution that addresses all of these challenges in one single program.
Let's talk a little bit about the training model and what do you think needs to be in there?
When we first started looking at what makes an ideal training program for IRW, we certainly want to recognize all the goodness that exists in IRW for the last 4 or 5 decades. The construct of primary instrument warfighter and all of the goodness that goes into that training that we all went through in our careers, there's goodness there for sure. But what we wanted to also do is amplify that with a good infusion of all the goodness that's out there across different civil training programs, whether it's an FA 141 program, a Part 61 program, or even a 121 program. Everything that we have done at Bell to develop this solution is all about creating that ideal, highly proficient Army aviator. We've developed a program that gradually progresses in complexity. It's a building block approach. It allows for students to advance at a higher pace if they are early proficiency performers. It also has a program in there that we can further develop aviators if they need a little bit more time.
I agree with what Matt talked about in terms of let's hold on to the good, but take full advantage of what's being presented now. So Bell's been able to take advantage of, we have now a digitally designed aircraft. There's a whole bunch of things that come along with that enable training. When you start with a digital design on an aircraft and you're able to bring that over into training packages, not just for aviators, but also for maintainers and what sustains them. And the ability for us not to have a hard start and stop on training. You don't necessarily have to be right in the classroom or in the cockpit to be learning. You can take that learning home with you, do it on your tablet, whatever, but take full advantage of what's been made available.
Just to develop that a little bit more, talking about part of our technology roadmap in our offering to the Army, it's going to essentially link the data that comes out of the aircraft. It's going to tie it right into our virtual reality simulator, and it also connects it right into a student-issued tablet that is armed with Google artificial intelligence, a virtual instructor pilot, if you will. And it stitches all three of those into a network of data sharing. They can get objective grading criteria, no more subjective assessment by instructor pilots. So it's really going to help the Army take a tremendous leap into the technology of learning.